Hello everyone and welcome to week 4 of the Pokemon Metronome League. I'm your commentator Mid this time, and we're going to start off this week right away with Biscuit versus Mercy. Biscuit sending out a Wobbuffet, hasn't lost a single match at Shadow Claw from Mercy's Gyarados, or however you pronounce it. Will do a lot of damage. Fire Blast does very minimal damage. Now the Gyarados, named Bouncy, will take some damage by the Leaf Storm. And Defense Curl gives Bouncy some bigger defense. And Venom Shot by Wobbuffet, why not? And Ember, it's resisted, so it does 0% of damage. The Whirlpool will miss the Wobbuffet. And here goes Thunder Wave. Accelerock does a little bit of damage. And so does Hex on Bouncy. Ceaseless Edge will miss the Bouncy. And Wobbuffet is dragged out. Now here is the Darkspawn named Good Boy. And Expanding Force will do some damage. Terrain Pulse. Now the Petal Dance. It does nearly kill Bouncy. And another Petal Dance and that'll do it. And Bouncy is down. Now here it goes. The Periodic Smack for Mercy. Or Garganackle. You know, why are these so difficult to pronounce? I don't know. I'm pretty new to Pokemon, but let's just focus on the match. A rollout by Mercy. Wobbuffet isn't quite done yet, but will be after this one. As he drags out the Darkspawn again. Rollout will completely get rid of the Darkspawn. And now things are looking in favor of Mercy. Ice Shard doesn't do much. Rollouts and fuck Corviknight, the Tinkaton is nearly dead as well. Stockpile that will give fuck Corviknight some boosts. But I'm not sure if this is going to end well for Biscuit. Double Kick does damage twice, but it does very little. Acrobatics. Periodic Smack, standing his ground well against the fuck Corviknight. Agility will make Tinkaton faster, but it doesn't help him as the Thunderfang finishes him off. Now it's just the Dragapult named Yeet the Child for Biscuit. And meanwhile for Mercy, the Swoobat comes out named Who. So I guess it's a Swoobat. Anyway, extreme speed, and it'll miss and still do some damage because of the Whirlpool. Now the wing attack, he only finishes it off. Toxic Spikes, that isn't gonna do anything because Sheer Cold will miss. That would have KO'd if it would have hit. But things are looking very good anyway for Mercy because of that Whirlpool. Biscuit needs a miracle in order to still claw this back, but it is a best of 3, so anything can still happen. Blizzard will get rid of the Swoobat, and the Whirlpool is gone, so it could still end favorably for Biscuit, but here goes Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl is one of the best Pokemon in this league, and so is Dragapult, and Grimmsnarl will get an Aqua Ring. That is gonna help Mercy tremendously. Biscuit has to struggle a lot now, as the Dragapult also gets paralyzed. It's just falling off for Biscuit. And Mercy does the final hit and will finish Biscuit off. And he will win the first round. Biscuit has won every single one of his matches so far. But he is at a disadvantage for this one so far. Both are starting off with the same Pokemon. Megahorn almost gets rid of the Wobbuffet, does 83% of damage. Sweet Kiss and the Magic Bounce will bounce it back to confuse Bouncy. A lot of bouncing there. Acupressure will give Bouncy some more speed. Headbutt almost gets rid of the Wobbuffet. Magic Powder turns Bouncy into a Psychic type, and it heals the Wobbuffet. And on top of that, the Bouncy also gets poisoned, which suddenly the tides are turning And Biscuit is coming back. The confusion, meanwhile ending for Gyarados. I still don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll just say Bouncy from now on. Light Screen. Agility will give Wobbuffet some speed. But Bouncy is soon gonna die because of the poison. Just 2 more hits and it'll die. So it needs to get rid of Wobbuffet before it dies himself. And discharge, it's barely not enough, and that means that Bouncy will not quite die yet because of the healing, and Sand Tomb, now they will both die in the next turn. And the heal is not enough for Bouncy to stay alive, and the Swoobat with the Giga Impact finishes off the Wobbuffet, so it's now a 3v3. Good boy with Belly Drum. Obviously it loses 50% of its health, but it's a very good move to have because now his attacks are 4 times as strong, and he heals back the 50%, which basically makes it super powerful. Thunder will also get rid of 50%. The Swoobat is now paralyzed. Superpower. It is resisted, so it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. Close combat. But now Mercy is gonna struggle against this Dark Spam. Bite will get rid of Who. Now Periodic Smack comes in. Volt Switch doesn't do much. Now Fuck Corviknight gets dragged in. As Bullet Seed will do a mere 5% as it hit twice. Psychic does a little bit of damage against Periodic Smack. But the Tinkaton needs to step it up. Okay, it barely does anything. Now Thunder Fang. It doesn't do much either. Iron Head will do a fair amount, and so does Gyro Ball. Bullet Punch, it's super effective. Does a 15% though. They're both on low health, but who will blink first? And it could be any of them at this point. Waterfall, it nearly gets rid of Periodic Smack, but Fuck Corviknight just needs to have a better move, and he does, but is forced to be dragged out because of the U-turn. So the Darkspawn is back. And it's immediately gone because of that one move. I completely missed it. But the Darkspawn has fainted. But Fuck Corviknight has now been healed, so I guess Biscuit can't complain too much. As only the Grimmsnarl is left for Mercy, and things are looking very good for Biscuit. As remember, he also has that Dragapult left, which has proven to be one of the best Pokemon in this entire league, if not the best. Iron Tail does a good amount. Torch Song puts My Dreams, the Grimmsnarl, under 50% health. Giga Impact nearly gets rid of it. Toxic Spikes, they won't do a whole lot of damage, since only Yeet the Child can get affected by them now. And down goes the Grimmsnarl, and Biscuit wins the second match, which means that it'll come down to the third match. It is now 1-1. Whoever wins this match will win this entire set. And Mercy actually decided to start off with Periodic Smack this time. Biscuit still starts off with the Wobbuffet, why not? Thunderbolt, well, doesn't do a whole lot. The Sky Attack does a good amount for Mercy. Wave Crash, not that much. Earth Power only deals 8%. Now Incinerate. And the Magic Bounce will bounce back the Strength Sap, which means that the Wobbuffet will get healed. Steel Wing. And the Stun Spore also gets affected by the Magic Bounce. Now Agility for Wobbuffet, increasing their speed. Psychic Fangs does do a little bit, but not that much. Now Crush Claw. It's been quite notable how Biscuit has been having pretty good luck throughout this tournament, as everyone just calls it Biscuit luck, since There were a lot of matches where it looked like he was going to lose, but he didn't end up doing so. But it's looking good for him against Mercy now. The Hex doesn't do a lot of damage. Scary Face will do nothing. Now play nice. It drops Periodic Smack's attack, but in return gets healed with 50% and is now dragged out. Swoobat, who comes in, and now Periodic Smack comes back again. Simple Beam. And the Rock Slide does only 5%. And now the Swoobat, who comes in again. Wobbuffet, why not, is doing the job, although he is unable to do a lot of damage. Victory Dance gets some stat bonuses. Pin Missile. And the Bug Bite only does 6%. Pollen Puff, 15 to the Wobbuffet. And now things are maybe shuffling around and maybe be a bit more in favor of Mercy. His Wobbuffet is quite low, but he does have that attack bonus, and the stats reset as I say that. It means that the Wobbuffet is now at a disadvantage. Bitterblade will get rid of it. Periodic Smack takes down the Wobbuffet, and the Darkspawn comes in, or however you pronounce it. It's just good boy, but now the Periodic Smack has to struggle, and it's barely not gonna kill him now, but he is gonna die in the next turn. Aqua Cutter will kill him anyway. Now here goes Bouncy, the one that has started off in the previous two matches for Mercy, and this time he's the third one. And Woodhammer will get rid of the Darkspawn, which gives Biscuit a disadvantage. He only has Tinkaton and Dragapult left now. Or fuck Corviknight and Yeet the Child. Double hit. And it'll do 10% and then 11%, so 21% total. Now Night Slash does a fair amount. Thrash, ooh, that's a good move for Biscuit. And the Thrash is gonna not get rid yet, but it will the next turn. But it turns out that the Drill Peck actually gets rid of the Tinkaton, so it's just Yeet the Child left for Biscuit. But Yeet the Child has been very good and has that Cursed Body on him. Cursed Body is a very good move that has helped Biscuit win many, many matches. And the Dig, Bouncy used to dig there. I'm sorry. Throat Chop will get rid of him, so now it's just Swoobat who's asleep. And the Grimmsnarl. So Biscuit could still win this Drop Kick. And the Swoobat is still asleep. Light screen. And the Swoobat wakes up. Or who wakes up. Roll out. We'll almost get rid of him, but now Dragapult has the roll out, so he will get rid of the Swoobat this time. Now it's just Grimmsnarl and Dragapult, two of the best Pokemon in this league so far, and the roll out will do a lot of damage. It's really becoming a detriment to Mercy, and it's enough to kill the Grimmsnarl, and Biscuit will win the match 2-1. Another clutch from Yeet the Child. But we're moving on to the next match, which is Lapis versus Seahawk. Lapis starting off with the Togekiss named Flying Bitch Kid. And Seahawk is starting off with Hisuian Zoroark, I was about to say, but immediately switches out. And the Drill Peck almost gets rid of Sunflora. Now he switches out again. Kind of an odd move by Seahawk. A Fury Attack will get rid of it. That was very odd to continue switching between Hisuian Zoroark and Sunflora. Aurora Beam does a fair amount, and so does Aerial Ace. It does a good amount of damage. We're watching this from Lapis's perspective. Poison Sting, Illumina Crash, dealing 20% and lowers Togekiss's speed. Headlong Rush, with nearly KOs the Zoroark. Now the Bullet Seed, Flying Bitch Kid, gets hit 4 times, but is still alive. And now the Hisuian Zoroark gets confused. But Energy Ball gets rid of the Togekiss, the Flying Biscuit, and now Metapod named Gigachad comes in. Shadow Punch, and the Zoroark is immune, but he dies anyway because of the confusion. So Gallade and Uxie is all that's left for Seahawk, and Blast Burn completely gets rid of the Metapod. Now Audino, named Audiobook, comes in against Gallade. It's a 2v2 now. But Seahawk still has Uxie, and now Perish. Now they both perish, so they need to switch out in the next 3 turns. Or else they'll perish. But Seahawk, in the meanwhile, gets imprisoned. Audino gets dragged out, but Seahawk now forces Lapis to struggle. Now, Uxie does come out. Uxie, the only mythical of the tournament, which was of course picked by the randomizer, but hasn't done as much as you would think. Mach Punch doesn't do much. Mega Horn, a good amount of damage dealt by Audiobook there. Now Icicle Crash, dealing 14%. There's Fell Stinger. Scratch will do 11. Zen Headbutt with 16. Uxie hasn't been that good for being a mythical so far in this tournament. It's the only mythical. The only way you could get mythicals or legendaries was through the randomizer, and that's what happened to Seahawk, which was pretty lucky, but Uxie hasn't been the best. Now Air Slash, they're both on very low health. Who will blink first? Yawn, Sacred Sword will get rid of the Uxie. Now Gallade comes out. Audiobook dealing some damage to it, but Gallade will finish Audiobook off. So it's gonna be a 1v1 between Hydreigon and Gallade. Hydreigon gets some defense because of Stuffed Cheeks. The Sweet Kiss misses. Now Mach Punch. Hydreigon has been notably pretty good during this league, despite being a Pokemon that was picked by someone else, or to be exact, picked by Seahawk in fact, which is interesting. Now Sand Tomb, oh, that's a good move for Lapis, and it puts Seahawk at jeopardy because now he is on a time limit. He has to finish off the Hydreigon in the next few turns, or else it'll die. It'll die in the next turn. Swallow, and that's not going to be enough. The Sand Tomb finishes Gallade off, and Lapis wins this first battle. As now we're going into the second round between Lapis and Seahawk. Once again, watching from Lapis's perspective. First up is Sunny Day. Doesn't do a lot. Alright, doesn't do anything now. You get the Gigachad, Metapod, Skill Shot. It'll deal damage 3 times, and it does a decent amount. Now Outrage. Frenzy Planet, 14%. It is resisted by the Sunflora. Outrage, and the Metapod is gonna die in the next turn, I believe. Yeah, and he does, because of the Outrage by Sunflora. Now here comes Togekiss, the Flying Biscuit. Peck does a good amount, and now we have Drill Peck. Now Slash, and it nearly kills Sunflora, but they have 4% left. Poison Gas, and that is gonna do it. The poison is gonna finish Sunflora off right here, which means that it's now a 3v3. Uxie comes out for Seahawk, and Lunar Blessing will heal most of the damage that Flying Biscuit dealt. Now switches out to Hydreigon. Lapis does have those toxic spikes, but they won't really do anything against Togekiss or Hydreigon because of them being flying types. It'll only really do anything against Audiobook. Now we got Uxie still. Mountain Gale will miss. Now goes Psychic Terrain. Soak does a good amount. It makes Togekiss a water type. Now we have Retaliate. It is 10% it deals. Ancient Powder. And then we got Dragoness, and it makes Uxi's attack and speed better, but they're both relatively low, so one of them is gonna be finished off in the next couple of turns. Teeter Dance. And core, it failed. Quick attack dealing 11%. The match is slowly going by. Now dig from Togekiss, but Uxi's Levitate will make it so that it doesn't affect the Uxie. Frost Breath nearly get rid of it. They're both very low. And Wing Attack will finish the Uxie off, which means that Seahawk is at a disadvantage now. It's now 3 versus 2, although Togekiss is very low, but Megahorn misses the Flying Bitch Kid. Gallade has to finish it off and does with Beat Up because it hit twice. Now Hydreigon, War of Time, and that'll completely KO Gallade. And now it's just Hisuian Zoroark left for Seahawk. Lapis is one Pokemon away from winning this match, which is surprising considering Lapis lost every single match in the unfilmed little season before this, but he is doing a lot better. And look at that, Kowtow Cleave will do it, and Lapis will win this battle 2-0. As now we're moving on to Mid versus Or. Two competitors that both have 2 wins out of 3 matches. Starting off with Mid's Clink, named 2 Metal Gears, and Smeargle for Or, called Me IRL. Mega Kick will do a lot of damage for Clink. Aqua Jet doesn't do a whole lot. Both of these Pokemon have proven to be very bad and almost useless throughout this league, but one of them is going to kill the other, and so far it's looking like Clink is going to get the KO on Smeargle. Ice Beam, and that is going to do it, so Smeargle is down. And now Dusknoir comes in for Aura, named Idol. Poison Powder, it poisons him. Reversal now. Recover for Clink, fully heals him. Some good moves are going on for Clink, considering Dusknoir is a great Pokemon. Now he's forced to switch out to Love Disc, named Love You Too. And Or also switches to Starmie, named Misty. Now Chloroblast, and it gets rid of the Love Disc, but Starmie does lose 50% of their health. Triple Dive does a good amount all 3 times, 17, 16, and then 17 again. Rock Blast, it is a close match between the 2 of them now. Ingrain, that's a good move for Misty. 2 Metal Gears is gonna have a hard time getting Misty now, and now Starmie gets a Shell Smash. Swallow, and it does fail. Waterplex, and it's not quite enough to finish Misty off. 2 Metal Gears will take some good damage from the Smart Strike. Heal Bell doesn't do anything. Sludge Bomb, but Clink is immune to that. Outrage will get rid of Starmie, though Clink is forced to eat its Lepa Berry now. Now Roaring Moon comes in and finishes Clink off. So now it's turned into a 2v2. Out comes Snorlax for mid. Victory Dance. He gets some stat boosts. Now Knockoff. Roaring Moon is doing very well against Snorlax right now. Dragon Tail, a super effective move, forces Roaring Moon out, and Dusknoir is still poisoned. Now Surf. Things are looking pretty equal between the 2, but maybe more in favor of mid because he's still got a Garchomp left, and Garchomp has been very strong. Although Dusknoir is getting Solar Blade. Barb Barrage will get rid of the Dusknoir. It's just 2v1, but Snorlax is very low. Can Roaring Moon finish it off? Not quite, just 3%. Flying Press will miss the Roaring Moon. And the Aqua Ring, that is going to be a great move for Or. Shell Smash for Thick Boy, the Snorlax. And Butt Kicker will get its defense lowered. Supersonic will miss Thick Boy. Now Quiver Dance. Snorlax keeps getting stat boosts, but doesn't really help when you're on 6%. As Roaring Moon just keeps healing. Trick Room. And now its spikes come out. Maybe things are in favor of Ore now, as Iron Head will finish off Thick Boy. But there's still a guard jump for mid called Yeet the Geese, who has been very strong throughout this tournament. And the Tail Slap will get rid of the Roaring Moon because it hit 5 times. And mid wins the first round. As we're going into the second round now, this time we're watching from Ore's perspective rather than mid's. Both start off with the same Pokemon, me, IRL, and 2 Metal Gears. See, a Blaze Kick does a good amount for 2 Metal Gears. And now Clink gets paralyzed. Rock Polish uppers Clink speed, but it doesn't really matter because it's paralyzed. Area Pulse. And now Smeargle must recharge. Stored Powder does a fair amount. Now Con Guard, giving a high defense to Smeargle, but Smeargle's almost dead. Just on 17%, while Clink is on 96. Now round, and Smeargle is down. Now Ore bringing out Starmie, Misty. Esper Wing does a good amount of damage against Clink. And how will this end? Bar Barrage doesn't do anything. Now Cross Poison does do a bit of damage for Clink, but it's looking good for Misty. 2 Metal Gears uses Acrobatics, which also doesn't do much. Now Spider. Clink still paralyzed. And Hyper Voice will get rid of the Clink. And out comes Love Disc. Last Respects. 40% is gone. Now Swagger. And Starmie has been dragged out. Dusknoir is in. Headbutt. But Dusknoir is immune. Teeter Dance. Dusknoir is confused and hurt itself. Now Sky Attack for Love Disc. He's gonna do it on the next turn, but Volt Switch, and Starmie prevents the Sky Attack from happening as finishes off the Love Disc. Now Thick Boy coming in, Snorlax as well as Buck Kicker to face each other off, but Dusknoir comes back. Eerie Impulse. Now First Impression. Energy Ball only deals 5% against Thick Boy. Idol and Ice Shard will not do a lot. Spin Out does a decent amount for Snorlax. Flower Trick does a good amount too. Judgment only 5%. Now Snorlax gets Rain Dance. Psychic Fangs. Things are looking in favor for Ore, but it could still go either way. Fell Stinger. Snorlax is low, but does get Ingrain. So as long as Idol doesn't get any high damaging attacks, Snorlax is Thick Boy is potentially going to survive for a long time. Now Sweet Scent. Flame Charge only does 4%. But Snorlax is still healing up. Infernal Parade, and it's immune to that. Bitter Malice will do 22%. Now Snorlax has more HP than Dusknoir. The tides are kind of turning for mid. Thick Boy is doing a good job of dealing with Idol, the Dusknoir. Now Sky Attack. It doesn't quite finish Snorlax off. And with the heal, Snorlax becomes really hard to defeat. Now Acrobatics will finish off the Dusknoir. Or is gonna drag out Starmie and immediately gets hurt by the rocks. Defecate. But now Snorlax has to struggle and will be dead. Incinerate by Yeet the Geese, the Garchomp. And Misty uses Sacred Sword, but the rough skin from Garchomp will deal some damage to it. High Horsepower gets rid of Starmie, so it's gonna be a 1v1 between Roaring Moon and Garchomp, Buck Kicker and Yeet the Geese. And it's looking in favor of mid. But Morning Sun almost fully heals the Roaring Moon. Earth Power does some damage to Garchomp, but Garchomp needs to step it up. Lunge will completely get rid of Roaring Moon, and Garchomp finishes it off and wins the battle for mid. It's 2-0 for mid. And he wins his third match in a row. Now we got Maisie versus Crystal. Two competitors that are desperate for some points. Neither of them have won any match so far, but one of them will after this. Who's it gonna be? Maisie starting with a cast form named Hell Yeah, and Crystal, or as I like to call him, Sil, starts off with Sylveon named Ribbon. Now Komodo for Maisie named Joe Mama is on the battlefield. Brutal Swing. The most eerie spell for Maisie. Now Perish Song, and it'll parry both of them, so they're gonna want to switch out before they perish. Now Payback. They're both perishing 2 turns. Defend Order for Maisie. And now they're going to perish in the next turn, so understandably they both switch out. Mr. Kelly, the Delmise for Maisie, is paralyzed now. Monkey, the Pansear for Sil. Pansear has been doing surprisingly good in this tournament. As you can see, the burn up almost, it does a good amount of damage against the Delmise. Mr. Kelly, Monkey, the Pansear. As some people say, the Sil's Pansear has been the best they've seen in like years. And Torment for Maisie, that is not good for her. Maisie is a female, I believe. As Aerial Ace will get rid of the Delmise. Now Cast Form is asleep, and Pansear gets Whirlpool, which it's looking good for Sil. And not so much for Maisie at all. Cast Form has been really notably bad throughout this tournament. Lick. Like the Cast Form is almost, he just won't wake up. And now they do. Steel Wing. And now the dive for Cast Form. Magic Powder. Misses, but Cast Form still gets hurt by the Whirlpool, which takes the Cast Form down, and thinks it's really looking like Sil's gonna win this match. Judgment for against Kamao. Then there's Gunk Shot. There goes Sylveon. Belly Drum will fail because the Kamao has under 50% health. Poison Jab, it's super effective and almost gets rid of the Sylveon. But the Thrash by Sylveon will get rid of Kamao, and now it's just the Ludicolo named Cherry Cola left, and Ribbon still has that Thrash, so now has to switch out the Shuckle named Defense. But things are looking very dire for Maisie, as it seems near impossible to win this match. Cherry Cola is gonna have to do the job and only has 24% health remaining. Nightshade does a decent amount. Now Meteor Beam. Fissure misses the Shuckle. Now the Meteor Beam. Now the Asian named Plusle is switched in for Sil. String Shot. Doesn't do anything. Fury Swipes. Ludicolo does have the Ingrain, but what good does it do? Rock Throw. Can the Plusle finish it off? Not quite. The attack misses. Poison Fang does. Not too bad of damage, but I think it's already sealed for Maisie. Uproar, and Ludicolo lives with a mere 8% remaining. Now the Dig almost gets rid of the Asian, but another Uproar will get rid of Cherry Cola, and Sil will win the first battle against these two. Now it's time for the second one. And off we go, looking for Maisie's perspective again. Now, immediately switches to Ludicolo, or Cherry Cola, as Monkey will do some good damage, the Pansear. Fell Stinger only does 8%. And now the Cherry Cola is disabled, forcing it to struggle, and that is not good for Maisie. It's already looking very bad for her. Cast Form is coming out. Well, Or will it do Bitter Blade? Will Cast Form actually do something? Now Brine only does a little bit. Same with Jaw Lock. Facade by Pansear. Sludge Wave, and it poisons Pansear, and Pansear is nearly gonna die. They're gonna die in the next turn. Stun Spore, and Pansear is dead. So Maisie still's got a chance. Rising Voltage by Cast Form against Ribbon. Now Dream Eater. Absorb by Hell Yeah, but will barely do anything. Head Smash though by Ribbon. Barbarage. They're both dealing good damage, and Ribbon is gonna get poisoned. So while Cast Form goes down, Ribbon will go down in a few turns. Unless they'll get healed. Mr. Kelly, the Delmise, will come in for Maisie. And Sylveon is gonna die after a Heat Crash and the Whirlpool. And that'll do it for Ribbon. Now the Asian, the Plusle, and against Mr. Kelly. Things are could still go either way. It's maybe looking even in favor of Maisie right now. Lightning Rod by Plusle now. Soak, which will make Plusle a water type. And Perish Song, and they will both perish in the next few turns. Rock Slide. This is bad for both of them actually, but far worse for the Asian because Syl's only got Shuckle left now. The Delmise just need to switch out and does. Now Kamao is in. Power Trip. Now Frenzy Plant doing 20%. That is a decent amount of damage. It must recharge though now. Aqua Cutter. It's not a whole lot of damage. Stealth Rock. And it's decent. String Shot lowers Shuckle's speed. And Self-Destruct for Shuckle. Completely gets rid of it. And it's looking like Maisie is gonna win. Only the Asian is what is left for Syl. And Plusle will go down from the Trap Kick. And Maisie actually wins. I believe that's the first time she's won a match. But we will take it to a round 3. And whoever wins this one wins the match. And it could still be either of them. Cast Form and Sylveon starting out. Hell Yeah and Ribbon. Grass Pledge. Doing a good amount for Ribbon. As does Water Gun, and Cast Form's already added a bit of a disadvantage. But Poltergeist does a good amount, 30%. But the Hyper Beam gets rid of Hell Yeah. Now Ludicolo, Cherry Cola, comes in. Play Nice, which drops Sylveon's attack. Psychic Fangs, dealing 22%. Now Aqua Ring for Ludicolo, that is going to be a strong move. Although the speed is lowered for Cherry Cola now. No Retreat for Ribbon. But I think it is a little bit too late. As now Ribbon has Infatuation. Thunder misses the Ludicolo. Dynamic Punch nearly KOs Sylveon or Ribbon. Force Palm, and that will do the final 5% of damage. And the Sylveon is gone. Now Plusle, the Asian, is coming in. Milk Drink will fully heal Ludicolo. Things could definitely still go either way. Both of them have 3 Pokemon left. And they both have lost all of their matches before this, as I said before. So whoever wins this will get their first point on the leaderboard. Disarming Voice doesn't do a lot. Pound does 8%, but the Cherry Cola just keeps being alive because of that Aqua Ring. Now switches out to Mr. Kelly though. Stone Edge doesn't do much. Then Bind, that is good. That is a good move to have. And Plusle is only gonna have a few turns left before it'll die. Yeah, just 8% left, and it's gonna die the next turn because of the Bind. Acid Spray will get rid of the Plusle either way, so things are now a bit in favor of Maisie. It's now 3-2. Could Maisie be getting her first win of this league? It's looking likely at this point, but things can obviously still change with the shuckle. Defense. Mr. Kelly does an axe kick. A wing attack by defense nearly KOs Mr. Kelly. Night slash and trap kick. Gonna get rid of 2%, but still, Mr. Kelly is still alive. Poltergeist, and it'll miss. That would have 100% killed Mr. Kelly, but defense, now Cotton Sport, and it's immune. Mr. Kelly is surviving this for a pretty long time, and you get Strength Sap, which heals it. Maisie is getting good luck right now. Mr. Kelly is staying ground against defense. Shuckle. After this, Sil just has Pansear left. Curious how this match will end. Nightshade. And it'll deal a good amount of damage. Coaching. Thundershock. It is resisted though, and it paralyzes Mr. Kelly. But Spatial Rend also nearly kills Shuckle as well. Facade, and Mr. Kelly still doesn't die. Shadow Force now. Dragon Dance. And the Shadow Force will get rid of the Shuckle. Now it's just Monkey the Pansear left for sale. Speed swap. Now Smart Strike by Pansear does finally get rid of the Delmise, but I'm not sure if it'll actually matter because there's still Komodo and Ludicolo for Maisie right now. Zing Zap. Does some good damage. Thunder Wave. And now the Water Pledge is super effective and does do a lot of damage. Pansear is gonna need a miracle to still win this, but it's really looking like Maisie is gonna win. Esper Wing. And 4% is left for Pansear. Electro Ball. Can still make a miracle happen. I mean, if you remember what happened to Mr. Kelly surviving so long on low percent, it could still happen. Seismic Toss. Do much, but now Sing will fail. And Dragon Claw does get rid of Pansear, and Maisie wins this match 2-1, leaving only one match left in this week, which will be Jet versus Bats. We're going to watch from Jet's perspective, starting out with Butterfree named Man and Metagross called Disrespect. Seed Bomb do a little bit of damage against Metagross. Dazzling Gleam, 28th, which is a decent amount. Now Block. Dragon Rush will KO Butterfree already. Now Lucario comes out and uses Explosion. Lucario is also down. This is going by very quickly. It's been only 3 turns have passed, and Jet's already lost 2 of his Pokemon. And as if things couldn't get worse for him, Bats gets the Aqua Ring, or Metagross gets the Aqua Ring. Disrespect. Now Chuck the throw. Judgment, but this is almost seeming like this is going by very quickly. Explosion though does explode Disrespect, but Chuck is almost dead as well. And he's gonna die the next turn because of the Sandstorm. Dragonite with Simple Beam doesn't finish it off, but close combat, and Chuck is down because of the Sandstorm. So it's just Ferrothorn left. It's been 7 turns, and Jet is down to 1 Pokemon. That is a very quick match. Sky Attack, and over half of Ferrothorn's health is gone. Bats is destroying Jet right now, and the Dragonite gets Ingrain just as an insult to injury. Circle Throw nearly will do it for Bats, but Dragonite named L. And can he finish it off? Yes, he can. It's been 12 turns and the match is already done. That is gotta be the quickest match of the entire league so far. Bats wins the first round, and it's looking very good for him now. Now we're going to watch from Bats' perspective. They'll both start with the same Pokemon as they did in the last round. Smackdown, and it immediately gets rid of the Butterfree again. Bats is getting the good moves, and Barbara's poisons Chuck. This is going by very quickly. This is a disaster for Jet, and Bats is just absolutely destroying him. Mortal Spin against Chuck. Now Poison Tail, but Disrespect isn't having any of it. Confused Ray, and Chuck is confused. You wonder if things could get worse for Jet. Swagger. And Chuck, the throw is down. Now your brother, the Lucario, gets in and gets some toxic spikes down. But will it really matter? Metal Claw for Metagross. Now Paddle Blizzard. Slash will do some good damage. Wish Entrainment. Clear Body though for Lucario. Now Sleep Powder does put Metagross to sleep. And your brother heals up, but Bat is gonna get the Dragonite out. L. No growth. Bats hasn't actually done anything with Indeedee or Meowstic yet because of how quickly that first match went by. Now Sticky Web. But your brother does get some higher speed. Screech by Dragonite up next. And now Meowstic comes out, named Useless. Gets poisoned by the toxic spikes. Now, Psy Strike and the Lucario is gone. It's just Ferrothorn left. And we're only 17 turns in. This is definitely the quickest set of this entire league. Ferrothorn has Iron Barbs. That is almost guaranteed to win this now, unless a miracle happens for Jet. Now the Metagross comes back, is still asleep. And will be for another turn. And another turn, so Ferrothorn has the chance to deal some good damage to it. Metagross has been one of the best Pokemon in this league. Giga Impact will do a good amount of damage, but Ferrothorn still has those Iron Barbs, which also deal damage in Metagross in return. Now L comes out for Bat's Poltergeist, and it only does 12% because of the Lupa Berry. Dragon Breath doing 14%. A Fell Stinger, still Iron Barb. Ferrothorn is really the only one for Jet in this match that actually managed to stay in for a long time. Minimize increases Dragonite's evasion. And Chair is gonna need a miracle. Poison Gas, but Chair is immune to that. Now Cross Poison, but another move where Chair is immune to. Bitter Malice for Dragonite, but it only does 15%. Hone Claws gives him some stab boosts, but I don't think it will matter a lot. Now Indeedee comes out, Ass Hat, who also hasn't been used yet for Bats, and is used here for the first time. It's also poisoned because of the toxic spikes. Night Slash, and Jet has 16% remaining. Will Bats be able to finish it off? Dragon Breath, not quite yet. But is it gonna be a sweep? Yes, here goes the Metagross. Mortal Spin, it's immune. Now Fire Lash, and it does kill him, but the Metagross will kill himself, so it's not a full sweep, but Bats will win the battle either way, 2-0. Which means that's all the matches for this week. Thank you for watching, and keep on spinning.